All right, today marks 2 weeks since Hurricane Melissa hit Jamaica, and today we're getting a clear picture of the toll that it's taken. At least 32 people are confirmed dead, and according to the United Nations, around 1.5 million Jamaicans have been impacted. Dozens of communities are still cut off, while electricity and telecommunications and even radio signals remain severely disrupted in some parishes. Relief supplies continue to flood into the island, but distribution to some of the hardest hit areas has been slow. Ordinary citizens are now working to fill the gap where the government for now cannot. So as you can understand, it's a very complicated situation. It's difficult. Andre Brown is a businessman in Montego Bay, which is in the northwestern side of the island. Andre, thank you so much for joining us this morning and talk about this critically important issue that you're facing there in Jamaica right now. Describe specifically the difficulty of the distribution aspect when it comes to getting all these much needed supplies to the people who need them, who desperately need them right now.
Hey, good morning. And first, let me thank you for allowing us to be on your platform to just to spread the word and the awareness of what really we are facing here. And to answer your question specifically, as you know, Jamaica is a very rugged terrain. We're known for our hills and our valleys, and we have a lot of areas that they have been cut off because the roads are maybe washed out. There are trees. Well, that was before. So it made it difficult for us to drive to those areas. So we had to depend on airlifts to get food to these particular areas. So and that has been one of the biggest challenges that we've had so far. And as you know, helicopters, it's difficult to land you can't land a helicopter in any and anywhere. So you have to be very strategic as to where you land. And then security becomes another issue. But all those challenges, they are being solved day by day because, as you know, everything takes a very strategic approach because you want to make sure the safety of our aid deliverers, the people on the ground, and we have to ensure that we are dropping to areas that are going to be, that in a position to allow these choppers to be landed and for the food to reach where it is definitely needed. So that was a huge challenge, but as you know, the government of Jamaica, we are working with a lot of relief agencies from North America. So I thank you guys. And day by day, we're solving these problems. However, on the ground, us as private citizens, we've jumped to the call to action because, as you know, there's no sitting and waiting for any particular agency to come here. We are here on the ground. We have to be our brother's keepers. And what we do is what we call a stopgap. As you know, this relief, it will take a little bit of time for it to get into the hands of who needs it most because it needs coordination. But what we do here, we get donations from local Jamaicans, from people in the diaspora, and we get the food and the aid to people who needs it now. So we are playing a very tremendous role as we help the government because we can't just sit and watch because everybody's instincts has kicked in and we're all just coming together to make sure that we are doing what we can do until a general strategic aid comes in and do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, it sounds like you're not waiting for the government to just pick up the pieces. Like neighbors are stepping up organically and sort of stepping in to help fill those voids and make sure that the people who need the help are getting it. I do want to ask you, what are some of the most critical needs, though, that you do need right now? I know that it does seem like aid is arriving on the island. Are there any gaps or specific needs for the people who have been impacted by Hurricane Melissa?
Great question. So, and as you know, everybody had a panic to get food in the country because food, it is what it is, and water, bottled water. But I know as the days go by, you find there's a huge influx of food and water because those are the most basic things that people instinctively are going to send. But I think a big thing that we need now would be medical supplies, rebuilding supplies, plies, wood, tarps, things that we can help to use to patch up, help people to rebuild, something that they can go, they can have a roof to go under temporarily. So rebuilding materials is going to be super important. As you know, with a crisis like this, diseases, become top of one's mind. So medical supplies, rebuilding material, and we'll never say no to food and water. What I'm doing now is that I've been donated a water truck, and I'm now going to different areas in the community just to give people water so they can bathe and they can cook and, they can just, have,
Yeah, Andre,
access to water. So
trying to
that's
give
one of my
people,
next initiatives that I'm going to work on.
yeah, making sure that people still have their dignity on a day-to-day and that they have food and shelter. Andre Brown, thank you so much for the work that you're doing there in Jamaica and for taking the time to speak with us and give us a really good idea of the situation there from on the ground. Andre, best of luck to you and to your family and to the effort that you have ongoing right now. And by the way, in the wake of Hurricane Melissa, CBS Miami Neighbors for Neighbors are helping our Caribbean friends. We're sending food, water, tarps, and generators to those impacted by the storm. So if you would like to help as well, you can learn more by scanning the QR code that you see here. Also, go to our Neighbors for Neighbors website. It's neighborsforneighbors.org/Melissa to learn more on how to donate.